yeah, just wanted to ask him about that a little bit. So we're moving on to topic two. Nick, what's your topic today?
So mostly Outriders,
Okay.
because it's a fantastic game. But also issues with the game is the main thing that I wanted to talk about.
Hmm.
So how familiar are you with this launch weekend of the game?
I've heard a lot of the uh, scuttlebutt about like how there were a lot of problems launching or doing whatever it was supposed to do. Um, I've heard a lot of people obviously playing together multiplayer wise, some gear stuff, some loot stuff. Some people in the kind of funny community, obviously kind of funny themselves. Free and Maribel, I think, are close to endgame if they didn't finish it.
Hmm.
Other than that, not too much. I just know it was like, ooh, and the launch.
Yeah, so it's one of the most fun games I've played in a long time,
Okay.
and had the worst launch I've experienced in a long time.
Mm, mm,
The issues that they're running into, they had released a demo at the end of February, I think.
okay.
The demo was fine, showed off some of the classes, showed off what you could do, shooting, all that kind of stuff. The demo worked perfectly fine. Crossplay worked perfectly fine. Then comes launch day, last Thursday. People are dropping, even playing solo. They're dropping out of the game
Hmm.
because it's an online only game.
Okay.
And that happens all through Thursday night. Friday comes, worse issues because there's even more playing because it's a
Right.
holiday.
Yeah.
So Friday, they just shut off the servers for like 3 hours. They were like, we're doing a hard reset.
Hmm. Okay.
It all comes back online, mostly fine, until Friday night at like midnight. Then it crashes again
Oh,
because
no.
one of their fixes caused a new issue.
Uh huh.
And that tumbles into Saturday. Saturday night, mostly stable. Sunday, yesterday, today, all fine.
Okay.
Except when you're playing with somebody else.
Weird.
It's I think it's because the game is a live service, so you're connected to their servers. But then it's also a peer-to-peer connection
Mm.
to connect to another player. And there's like desync that happens, I'm gonna guess, because it's trying to connect you all to one thing and to each other
Right.
instead of all just to one thing.
Okay.
Because most games, like Borderlands, for instance, is you connect to just that player. You're not connected to an external server as well
Mm-hmm.
when you play multiplayer. So I think there's too many connections happening.
Okay.
And then if it was dedicated servers, you're all just connected to the server, and that's all that matters.
Right.
Like Destiny. Destiny does that.
Gotcha.
So that's still an issue. Playing even just before we started this, I disconnected from the host like twice for no reason. But with that, like, horrible launch, but it's an amazing game, and they're also handling it really well.
Okay.
Their Twitter has been putting out tweets like every half hour about issues and what they're trying to do to fix them, giving timelines if they can. So they've been like really, really good about talking about it
Mm-hmm.
and fixing it, but it still sucks that it happened.
Right. Hmm.
And there are a lot of people who I think this is one of the only times I've ever seen it who demanded refunds and things because they felt the game was broken.
Mm.
And there's a lot of entitlement when people buy games saying they expect certain things, and being able to play the game is something that people should expect.
I would hope so. Yeah.
So it's like one of those times like the complaints are all valid. It's not like the game worked and multiplayer was a little broken,
Right.
but you can still play solo. No, it was just all broken.
Mm. Okay. Kind of
And
sounds.
currently, PC players cannot play with console players.
Okay, so there's no crossplay like it was working
There is
before.
supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
but it is not. There's something, I guess, the code's slightly different, so they need to patch it.
Okay. Yikes. A lot
Yeah.
going on. Okay. Man, Square's not having a great year. They had obviously this, and then even Avengers has gotten a lot of flack. I mean, at least that
Oh,
worked, but oof.
well, that's actually one of the things that I saw a lot of. Is they're like, okay, Square Enix put out the Avengers game 6 months ago, and that had no server issues on launch.
Right.
So why can't this game have no issues?
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being Marvel budget.
Yeah,
It's a Marvel game. They're going to make sure everything's absolutely pristine.
I would hope. I don't know. Some of these Marvel
But
games, like, ooh.
yeah, Yeah, I mean,
Marvel vs.
there's
Capcom
still
Infinite.
issues.
What?
Oh yeah, the worst fighting game.
I mean, the mechanics were great. The rest of it, ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, booty.
Yeah, when I started seeing that Infinite was being rated worse than Street Fighter V, I was like, oh, that's got to be
Mm-hmm.
that's a title you can take, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what Square Enix's problem is. I mean, also they did horribly with the Avengers game. That went downhill. Like the story was fine, like it was cool. I played a little bit of the other missions and then was waiting to see if friends got it, and then saw like 2 months ago that they're like, oh, we're gonna make it harder to level up.
Yeah, questionable choice there.
I'm like, so if I go back to the game, it's gonna take me longer. Now I don't want to go back to the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was one I streamed, and I was late to the party, like everything I stream. But I enjoyed the story quite a bit. I haven't played any of the multiplayer stuff, nor do I plan on it. But yeah, I haven't gone back yet for like the Kate Bishop DLC or the Hawkeye DLC. I kind of want to, because like
Yeah,
I said,
I was like, oh, it'd probably be cool, new characters.
Right.
But if
Yeah.
it's gonna take me 30 hours to get them to max level, I'm like, eh.
yeah, I had fun with it. It might be just something like I pop in and kind of like zone out to, like not fully obviously invest in and go that way. But yeah, I haven't seen the new leveling up mechanic. I don't know how much of a change that is, but like you said, it's apparently harder. So it's like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, one of the things that I saw on the subreddit was that it's like 2.5 times as long to level up.
Oof. Okay.
So it's just like padding for the game.
Weird choice.
Yeah, because I got that game because I was like, oh, it'll be a power fantasy thing of like, I'm this super strong person just busting on all the little bad guys.
Right.
And it did feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
But there wasn't enough there
Yeah.
for me to like want to keep playing. And Outriders actually filled that gap of a game I was wanting. You're so powerful. The class I picked is called the Trickster. They use time magic.
Okay.
So I have like the main moves I use. You can have 3 abilities. There's like 8 abilities per character. You can have 3 equipped. I have a slash that like reverses time on them, ripping their body apart.
Oh. Okay.
And so like they get struck by lightning and like their skeleton shows, and then they disappear and explode if they die.
Neat.
I can teleport behind people to get like across the map fast, and then I have a dagger I can throw that bounces, and anyone I hit that's marked with it deals insane damage. So I'm just sprinting around, just blasting these guys apart,
Right.
and it's a really, really cool feeling.
So
It's awesome.
gameplay wise, is it like Destiny where is it open world where you run point to point to do different missions, or like?
It's physically the world is structured like Borderlands, where it's a sectioned map.
Okay.
Gameplay wise, it's like halfway between Destiny and The Division. More towards Destiny because there is cover mechanics, but the cover is only used by one class.
Oh. Okay.
Because they're like a support sniper class, where they have like turrets and mines and stuff. They're the only one who ever needs to use cover.
Gotcha.
Because there's no healer class in the game. Every class has its own unique healing mechanics. So the class I play, if I kill someone who's close to me, I get a shield and heal a little bit. So I don't want to sit behind cover,
Right.
Because I'm just gonna die. I want to be in the thick of it. The tank class has a thing where just if someone dies near them, they don't even have to kill them. Another player can kill them.
Okay.
The tank gets healed.
Huh.
So things like that, where the sniper classes, they just get lifesteal on all the weapons.
Okay. That'd be me way in the back. you guys are doing great.
My friend's playing that class and he loves it.
Good.
They can deal a lot of damage.
Nice. Story wise, how's that going when it does work?
So I beat the story the other day.
Okay.
Actually, when I went to stream it, I didn't realize I was on the last mission.
Oh, really? Okay.
The story's pretty good. It takes some weird turns. I'll keep it spoiler free. They just don't pull punches when it comes to the situation some of the characters are put in, because it is like you're on a planet that is no longer habitable and all the electronics died. They're okay with killing people.
Okay.
Like characters that seem like they should be important to the story just sometimes get shot in the head.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. and because you're sort of a like semi-immortal being, because you get struck by the anomaly in space to gain powers. Uh, you there's one side mission, and it's a silly side mission, so I'm gonna give spoilers for it. Uh, some guy is in debt to somebody else and asks you if you can take his place in playing this guy's game, and that no one has ever won the game, and if you lose the game, you die.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's probably Russian roulette, and it is.
Okay.
And so your character shoots themselves in the head, and the bullet comes out, hits you. Pretend your character acts like they're dead, and then reverses like time using their anomaly powers to put the bullet back in the gun and then hand it back to the guy. And you're like, "There's only one bullet, right? You should be fine."
Mm-hmm.
And the guy pulls the trigger and dies. And I'm like, "That's the whole side quest.
All right.
That's it. You do nothing except watch a quick cutscene, and it's just hilarious."
Huh. Free XP. There you go.
Yeah.
So it seems like the story is relatively short. Do you think they'll add more once, obviously, they fix the chaos that is the servers?
So that's one of the things that they're doing wrong. Is they have stated that it is not a live service game.
Okay.
They do have ideas for more content and have worked on some things, but they're not sure. It depended on the success of the game if it would be put out. But they've made the game online only, but not as a live service. So as far as they have planned right now, they're not going to do any events. They're not going to do any like weird challenges. It's just, this is the complete package. Have fun. And it's weird that they put it online.
Right.
The only thing I can think of is Square Enix forced them to prevent people from manipulating loot.
Oh, okay. So is there like, I assume there's other stuff to do besides the story. Like, do you just go and shoot people and just have a good old time there?
At the end of the game, you unlock what's called expeditions, which are kind of like the strikes from Destiny.
Oh, okay, okay.
Where it's just a short mission, and like that's to get the end game loot, and that's fine. I mean, they're fun to do.
Man, okay, a lot of weird choices. Because I mean, that's all fine and dandy, but like, the livelihood of that game does not seem that long. Like it, at least from what I'm hearing, it seems like it'll be a flash in the pan if the story's relatively that short. And like you said, there's no post game planning or whatever. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, it is a little weird. Like, it's a very good experience, but they need to add things to make it last longer. Just like add new loot occasionally, add new bosses, new enemies.
Yeah.
Put out an expansion. I'll pay $20 for an expansion. I don't care. They just definitely need to continue the game because it's not going to live on its own.
Right.
It just won't. It'll be over in like 2 months.
Right. That's, man.
Yeah, it is a lot of weird decisions. They did talk about in an interview how they're handling cheaters. There's no PvP in the game. It's just joining with other players. And so they didn't want to ban people who use character trainers or modify something to give themselves loot, different things like that. I don't know what it is yet because I haven't seen it. But all it does is it marks your HUD with like some sort of symbol.
Okay.
That's easy to spot, but is discreet so it doesn't get in your way. And you can only join other players who are labeled as cheaters.
Okay, all right.
So you can play to your heart's content by yourself. But if like you're a YouTuber or a streamer,
and
people will be able to see that you cheated.
Right.
And they did say that exploits in the game will not likely count as cheating. Farming will not count as cheating if there's like a farming glitch. Because there currently is one.
Okay.
Where you can get like 5 epic pieces of gear every 20 seconds.
Oh wow.
by just dying to the same boss over and over again. They said that that's not going to label you as a cheater.
Okay.
It's going to be actually physically altering the game.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad they're communicating about it at least, and it's not just hiding behind like
their PR team is doing a great job communicating instead of just going, we're looking into it.
Yeah, it's good to see games doing that. It seems like more of them are trying to be forward facing with like communicating with what they can. Obviously Among Us crew has been doing a great job with that. The Fall Guys Twitter has been doing great with that. I think the Apex community has a lot of Reddit talks. I don't know because I'm not on Reddit all that much, but
Yeah.
I'm glad to see games are doing that, and at least, like I said, having that conversation of like, yeah, we know we fucked up, we're trying this, hopefully it works out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they're not even it's not even just on Twitter that they're being active. The devs have created their own Reddit threads compiling every issue that's known, and links to workarounds or sources where they talk about what they're doing to fix it.
Good. Nice.
So you can get all that information in one place, which is awesome.
Okay. Good. Yeah, we'll have to see if that works out. Hopefully it does. And yeah, I don't know. I guess the big question now is just what's next after obviously everything's done with the game. Like,
they better roll out a lot of content.
Right. Because yeah, if it is that good experience and everybody's liking it, then why not invest in it? Otherwise, it's just like, well, that was a nice however many hour experience. Let's go to the next thing.
Yeah, because you can beat the story in probably, I would say, 4 or 5 hours. There's did you ever play Diablo 3?
I did, yeah.
So you're familiar with their difficulty system. This uses a similar system. They have world tiers. So you earn XP towards your next world tier by playing on the highest one you have, and it makes the game more difficult. You get better loot. But if you put the game on world tier 1, you could clear through the game in like 4 or 5 hours.
Okay. All right.
So it can be a very short experience, but it doesn't have to be.
Right. Depends on how you want to obviously play it.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other thoughts on Outriders you want to talk about?
No. I just hope that they iron everything out.
Yeah, for sure.